The idea for the garden came about out of concern during the Great Recession, when more and more folks on campus were struggling to feed their families. There was talk of starting a food bank, and the idea surfaced to put in a community garden. It's located on UNC's campus, about a 5-minute walk from the main part of campus. The garden started off as it was 8,000 square feet, and it was just a plot of land with a bunch of beds, and we are now, as I said, we're 35% larger. We've got a tool shed, we've got a solar-powered greenhouse, an information kiosk. We've really expanded. The mission of our garden, first and foremost, is to increase access to fresh, sustainably grown produce for UNC's lowest wage workers. We also serve as a learning laboratory for developing garden skills, social responsibility. I like to think too that we raise awareness, particularly on campus and beyond possibly, as to the fact that even if you have a full-time permanent position, that you don't always have enough money to be able to feed yourself and your family the way that you would like to.
The garden is a way to produce healthy, nutritious, organic food for low-income employees here.
I think the garden is just a great way for people to express their hobbies in a way that benefits the community and society as a whole.
That it is a community garden, and those are two very powerful words, very important words. As you can see right behind her with any of the video footage, the garden is such a beautiful place to experience things growing, participate in the growing, be part of the creation of foodstuffs for people, to feel it in the soil and to see and find out what is soil. And, you know, you hear people use the word dirt, you know, like a put-down word. So I think, wait a minute, let's go and see what this is really about as a living space that has so many millions and millions of living things right there that we can touch with our fingers. I tell the students that it's an opportunity really to see organic chemistry in action. With all of these little things they design on their boards, you know, the carbon and hydrogen stuff, that's right here. So that's the garden part. And then the community, get a chance to meet people, listen to their stories, why they're here. That's awesome.
A really lush, beautiful place. It's great for talking to people and doing work, getting outside, getting your hands dirty. But just, I think mostly really green. It's beautiful.
It's like a hidden little space because campus is right there, and once you step into the garden, it feels very welcoming and, like Tori was saying, very green and just kind of, I don't know, it makes you feel like you're not on campus. And
green space that was repurposed. Instead of a parking lot, we've got flowers, vegetables, community environment of people as well that's all come together to support the garden's mission in the university.
I really enjoy meeting people here, so just, I guess, the community of this is really nice, and that's really what gets you coming back every week.
I agree with that. The community is so nice, and it's so nice to just be out in nature, but also giving back to the community that keeps you coming back every single week.
I'm in an Apple Service Learning course, and this is one of the places that we can volunteer at. I think also over the course of the semester, it's been just a really cool break for me to take from doing school or from working, because you come here and you're working outside, working with your hands, and there's something really peaceful and comforting about it. So
I would agree with that. At first it started out as just a way to get volunteer hours and to see a friend that I didn't run into that often. But as I got more comfortable with the whole process, it just was a nice way to break up my day and come outside and feel like I'm doing something meaningful, but at the same time just again to do something that's got a larger purpose. campus.
I was looking for a place to get outside and do volunteer work outside as a student. So I was tired of being stuck in the library, and I looked up the community garden, and also I just love the work that they do. I think it's incredibly important, and I love being a part of it.
Pretty much same. We send a lot of volunteers out through our organization, so it was part of that. And then I really just love outdoor spaces as well. I do a lot of gardening, or I used to when I was growing up with my family. So it was kind of just like a nice way to get volunteer hours while still doing something I really enjoy.
I get the fresh greens and stuff my stepmom, she cooks.
I think access to fresh foods is really important, and it's like a privilege not available to everybody. So it's pretty cool to be able to come here and get fresh foods without all the preservatives and everything. It is.
It plays many roles. It gives me the chance to meet people, being a neighbor. But you know, I'm not in the I'm not on the campus. I retired from teaching at another university, and so I don't really know people except through efforts to get to the community and get to meet students and faculty. So, wonderful opportunity to build that kind of broader community.
Well, I think that just broadly, community gardens are spaces where community members can interact in a setting kind of away from everyday like economic systems and systems that we all have to participate in that can be frankly like oppressive for a lot of people.
We've been coming to the garden now for about 2 to 3 years, and I really appreciate it because sometimes you go through periods of time where your money is running kind of low and your food supply is also running kind of low, and so it really helps me out during those times, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful for it.
So it exposes me to new foods that I had never seen before, and some stuff that is not necessarily available in my local grocery store. Yeah, I feel like it brings a freshness to my kitchen.
Oh, I've learned that a lot of the stereotypes of youth as being not interested and not engaged is totally false. I mean, people come here regularly. They ask good, hard questions. They don't let us off the hook in terms of either our production practices or our distribution practices because they seem to care.
Some of the stuff is practical. Like, I didn't realize what exactly went into the food. You know, if you walk to the grocery store, probably once a week. But you don't realize how much goes into it, how difficult it is, how much work it takes, and how it's like a trial and error process. It doesn't always come out right. You actually put a lot of work to put that food in the grocery store.
When I started coming here is when I realized I knew nothing about gardening. So I now know what seasons things grow in, certain crops, and I realized what the proper way to harvest things is. I know so much more about plants. I didn't know there were so many types of lettuce for one thing. I know more about composting and what is a really nutritious foundation for plants to grow in. So I learn something every time I come.
I feel like I've learned so much. I didn't know much about plants at all coming in here, but it's been really cool because I think every time I come, Claire, Kyle has something new to teach me, some harvesting or planting things, so that's been really cool. Well, I've learned a lot about the chemistry in compost, which I love. It's fascinating. I've learned a lot more about plants and just about how hard it can be to get fresh food. Yeah, I'll echo a lot of that. I learned a lot more about compost and how to be a responsible composter. So I kind of make my housemates compost now.